if we don't pay our cell phone at all for the month of October, how much will you have to pay? Well, let's scroll up and look at that. For 0 megabytes, we have what is the intercept. It looks like somewhere around halfway between 0 and 20. So I'm going to go with around $10. I'm going to call this by inspection, which means I looked and I didn't do any actual arithmetic. Finally, let's determine the equation of the line in the graph. Looking at it, we know the slope, and we know that we will end up with costs equals fixed costs plus variable costs times x. We suspect that the fixed cost is somewhere around 7, and we know what the slope is. I'm going to put in one of the points, and here I just choose any point that I would like. 80 megabytes cost $30. Either of these points is fine. So I'm going to put that in here, knowing that the variable cost is 25 cents. Now I'm going to put in 30 for C and 80 for X. I'm just going to leave off the megabytes because it's not necessary. But now we have this, it ends up being FC equals $30 minus 0.25 times 80. And we can just run that through a calculator and we get $10, which is actually what we guessed in the previous examples. So that is true. D. Now let's look at how much C is our slope, and that is already there. So now let's just check our work by putting in every single point. So X equals 120, cost equals $10 plus 25 cents times 120, that's $40. Correct. Now let's put in X equals 80 megabytes. Now our cost is going to be $10 times 25 cents times 80. And that is $30, just like we want it to. Finally, our last point was 200 megabytes. Cost equals $10 times 25 cents times 200 megabytes, and we end up with $60. Those are the points that we're looking for. Finally, I want to just verify part B. So B said, what happens when we make 160? So when we use 160 megabytes, our cost should be $10 plus 25 cents times 160 megabytes. Running this through a calculator, it equals $50, which is the amount that we estimated.